Hey, beautiful people. How's everybody doing? Welcome to a special edition episode of Coffee Break with Melissa. I am your host, Melissa, and today we're gonna show you what a example conversation looks like when someone is considering becoming a foster parent. So we're gonna call this the acting edition. By the lovely Rachel Leon and Phil Goudreau, the licensing team here, and I hope you enjoy it. I'll make a couple comments at the end, but for now, enjoy.
Good afternoon, this is Philip from the licensing department at Lutheran Social Services.
Hi, I was interested in becoming a foster parent and I had some questions.
Well, thank you for reaching out to Lutheran Social Services. I have a few questions to ask you, but before we get started, can I just find out, how did you hear about our program?
I actually am a fan of Coffee Break with Melissa, so I know about LSSI from the podcast.
Oh, wonderful. Is there anything in particular you have a question about?
Yeah, my first question is I live in a small home. It's an apartment building. I didn't know if that would work for me fostering.
Well, that would depend on the number of children and the number of people already living in the home. What does your situation look like at home as far as bedroom, sleeping areas?
It's just me and I have a 2-bedroom apartment, so I have one open room.
Okay, so if you have one open room, then we eventually what we do, if you're interested in getting a license, is we come out and we measure the room, and then that would ultimately decide how many children could possibly have placed in that sleeping area.
So I could potentially have more than one child?
That's correct. You could, yep, and that's a decision you can make as we, move through our process of licensing.
Can you tell me about the process? What does that look like?
Sure. So initially, what you do is you'll fill out some application paperwork. You just write application. Fingerprinting is required, and then with the fingerprinting, we also run background checks for all adults and anyone actually over 13 years old in the home. Once you got the fingerprinting, the background checks completed, and the application, we also need medical exams to show that everyone in the home is free of communicable diseases. And then we submit paperwork, to DCFS to get the application process started. And then our next step is we'll fill out consent paperwork. So just kind of all the things that our licensed homes agree to do, kind of our code rules that licensed homes go by. I'll review and sign all that with you. And then there are some classes you'll take. Most of them are online. It's kind of a hybrid schedule. A few of them, at certain points in the class, you'll meet with a facilitator, kind of go over what you've been learning. And then I type up a home study, which is kind of your life story. So we take information regarding your family history, work history, education history. We type that up in the report. And then there's some supplemental documentation we'll need, proof of auto insurance for transported children, things like that. And then once everything, the home state's been completed, your classes are completed, and we have the application, the background check's been processed. We come on, do a final visit of the home, make sure everything's safe, check your water temperature, smoke detectors, and issue your license.
And how long does that process typically take?
Well, there's no set answer for that. We try and work at your pace. Some people who are highly motivated will get the licensing done in 3 months. Some people will start the process and they don't end up completing it until a year and a half later. So that just depends on kind of your level of motivation as far as moving through the licensing process.
And I was kind of interested in adopting, and I was wondering, do you do fostering through adoption?
So our primary goal at our agency is supporting and providing homes to foster children who generally have return home goals. So typically our goal is reunification, so trying to get the child into a safe home and then hopefully be able to reunite them with their biological parents. There are situations that arise where the court will decide that it's not in the best interest of the child to return home, and in that instance they would change the goal to a permanency goal of adoption or guardianship. And those situations do arise where there may be an opportunity or a situation will present itself where you may be asked to adopt or provide guardianship for a child in care.
Okay. And what is the biggest need, age wise? What kind of ages are there children available for?
Well, we provide care for children between newborn and 18 years old. Again, it just kind of depends. Different situations arise depending on varying circumstances. Typically, our need is greatest for older youths or for teenagers, 13 to 18. But we have a need for providing safe homes for children of all ages between 0 and 18 years old.
Okay, great. So how do I get started? I'd like to start the process now.
Well, I would like to try and schedule a visit to come out and meet with you in your home. We can go over some additional paperwork. I can answer, again, any questions you may have between now and when we have our first meeting. And I'll go from there.
So wasn't that fun to watch? I enjoyed the skit very, very much. And yeah, that's pretty much how it goes. You reach out to your agency of choice, preferably us here at LSSI. Make your interest known by filling out a form online. It's called Foster a Child inquiry form. And one of us will be notified, or the local licensing team, wherever you live, for LSSI or the agency of your choice. And someone will reach out to you, and the information they'll collect is the household composition, who all lives in the home, their ages, depending on the role that they have in the home. It'd be the social security number for purposes of doing a fingerprint search, background check, that type of thing. Dates of birth, obviously the address for coming out. They'll collect some other identifying information in order to best meet the needs of the families that we serve, which are very diverse. And we happen to be certified with the Human Rights Campaign. And due to that, we will collect identifying information about your sexual orientation and your identity as far as that, to find homes that support LGBTQIA+ youth. And so we just gauge that to provide the best fit and support. So I hope you consider fostering or will join us in spreading the word. Thank you for your time, and I'll see you next time. Bye.